Hey everybody, this is Rabbi Marcus. It is time for another Hot Takes with Rabbi Raskus or Rabbi Raskus. Hot Takes for the 20th of Tishrei. This teaching is called The Mature Mind. Are you ready? I really enjoyed this one. Let's do it. So Rabbi Raskus says, there is an important distinction between the immature and the mature individual. One may recognize the immature person by his lack of balance. He is overwhelmed by the first assault of misfortune and swept off his feet by the first piece of good luck. Then he believes through his own slender store of experience that what happened to him is utterly unique and that nobody has ever suffered his problems or met with his good fortune. The mature person, on the other hand, knows that to be human means to have spiritual ups and downs, and that to love means to experience both joy and sorrow for the sake of those we love. He knows that the Psalms, the prayer book, the love of a friend, the steadfast faith of a spouse, the balm of time, and the healing hand of God together make up the great balancing force of life. A minister has expressed this thought as follows. Today upon a bus, I saw a girl with golden hair. She seemed so gay, I envied her and wished that I was half so fair. I watched her as she rose to leave and saw her hobble down the aisle. She had one leg and wore a crutch, but as she passed a smile. O God, forgive me when I whine. I have 2 legs and the world is mine. 2 legs to take me where I go, 2 eyes to see the sunsets glow, 2 ears to hear all I should know. O God, forgive me when I whine. I'm blessed indeed, the world is mine. He has this quote here from Zelda Popkin. I'm not sure who that is, but the quote is, acceptance of the unanswerable is the beginning of all wisdom. So I enjoyed this teaching. Again, with a lot of Rabbi Raskus' teaching, they start in one place and they sort of end up in another, and it's sometimes a little hard to figure out, what they're connected to. But I really like this idea that Rabbi Raskus says, this kind of polarity he creates or difference that he creates between the mature mind and the immature mind. An immature mind that's excitable, that constantly makes conclusions based off of just one single moment and doesn't analyze the reality of life. While the mature mind is able to actually keep in perspective life and all of its complications. And that we should really work to try to have this mature mind, this mind that does try to keep in perspective life's realities. And I think that's what Judaism does for us so often, is it really helps us to understand the way life really is. It's amazing in this world we live in today. We believe that we're owed so much as human beings. We're owed a home to live in and food to eat, and a safe place. We're owed, now people are saying we're owed education, and we're owed respect, and we're owed all these things. As Americans, we love to talk about what we're owed as human beings, and it's really become an American tradition to say that we have these inalienable rights, which is, of course, the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. And that's wonderful to try to create a society where everybody gets those things. But the truth of the matter is, in the actual real world, we're not owed these things. Many people don't have these things, and they're things that need to be worked for every day, to have good shelter, to eat good food, to make enough money to make a living. These aren't things that are given on a silver platter. Rather, these things are what we toil almost all of our life to make sure can happen. A lot of times we live like we're just owed these things, and when we don't get them, we throw a fit. We say life is unfair, and the society is unfair, but we don't do enough of saying, well, why am I owed those things? I need to work harder. I need to get those things. I need to hustle to figure out how to get the food and prioritize my life so that my necessities and my family's necessities are taken care of. And that's what Judaism does a lot of, is when we say blessings over food, right? And we say that our food comes from God, right? We think about all of the people who brought that food to that place, to the table. All the people who had to work to harvest that food and make it happen. And of course, God's blessing that it exists in the very first place. So I think really what Judaism is all about is that, we come into this world sort of indebted. And we didn't pay anything. We didn't give anybody anything to be brought into this world. God gave us life as a gift, truly. And of course, we don't owe God anything because it's a gift. But to be a good person in this world is to give back, right? To give back for the gifts that we've been given, the fact that we can breathe air and live in this world. And I think a Jew spends their entire life giving back to God and serving God in this world, to try to be a good person in this world and to thank God for the many gifts that we're given. And if we can try to persevere to live that way, and I'd say all of Judaism, all of the mitzvot, the praying, learning Torah, all of the good things that we do in Judaism, all lead us to that perspective of having a real perspective of where we are and who we are in this universe. So many times we live just an illusion as human beings. And the point of Torah and Judaism is to cut through and break through that illusion that we live in. So I wish us all luck. May God give us the strength to break through these illusions that we entrap ourselves in and to live a life with a mature mind, as Rabbi Raskus says. I bless us all that we can find that in this year of 5784. And we'll talk soon. All right. Bye, everybody.